Morning to the Free Idea Podcast. Today's ideas, I got a compilation of them, starting with the one maps with the red traffic line. You know, when you're in Apple Maps or Google Maps, when there's traffic, it shows a red color. When there's heavy traffic, and when there's light traffic, it's a yellow. When there's no traffic, it's either, green or blue. Well, I was thinking about it. The red lines, usually there's traffic, and it's usually the same places in the city. Always the same places. So, I have been thinking, what if maps sold the data of the high traffic areas to billboard companies and ads companies? Because that means that everybody who's stuck in that red traffic area, well, the billboards in that area are more likely to be seen. And that's prime real estate there for your ads. What I'm saying, either one, it's already happening, or two, how has it taken this long to ever not happen? And three, if you do it, obviously, America being America, they will charge more for those spots because it's a high traffic area, meaning that that's where they will most likely be seen. And I'm pretty sure they already have something similar to that. Like, of course, high traffic area billboards is not the same if you put a billboard in the outskirts of the city than in the middle of it, or next to McDonald's versus next to a highway. So I know they already do something like that without even being in that business. Like, just pure common sense. They do have a term for high traffic area and higher cost for your billboard. What I don't know they're doing is if they're looking at the maps, and if Maps is collaborating with them to show the red hotspots for traffic. And about what time too, because then you get these electric billboards that change with LEDs. So guess what? During high traffic areas, you could be showing one particular ad because that person paid more. And during low traffic times in the same area, because it's always depending on the hour, then they show other announcements in that electronic ad. Ta-da! You're welcome. I just gave you a real, true, free idea. That one is definitely there to make money. So feel free to use it and let me know how it goes. Next one is a video game about armored bugs, bugs with guns. In other words, we don't have a game like that. We have these ones where you fight bugs as your little miniature yourself. Um, but not one where bugs have guns. That would be funny. Or even if the bugs are fighty. Like, imagine you encounter a mantis, when the mantis is actually dressed like a samurai or a ninja with knives and swords, and he's sneaky, right? And that's a boss. And then another boss is one of those beetles with a rhino, a horned beetle, that has it's a tank pretty much. It shoots you with like a cannon, and then you shoot it, but it's a boss because it's armored. And then you find ants, and the ants are soldiers. That's your common enemy. It's just a bunch of fire ants, and they actually throw fire. I don't know. They have flamethrowers or guns that shoot fire bullets. Uh, See, there's so much to imagine a spider that just has 8 revolvers. That's why not, and a cowboy hat and a sheriff emblem, and it shoots from the webs. That would be funny and fun, making a video game like that. So, video game makers out there, go nuts. Make a video game where bugs have guns. I mean, you have so many bugs with such silly names that already are real, like the German roach. You can literally make roaches speaking the in the German. I think that was more Afghanistan, but make him speak German and give them little hats and guns. And then you got your German roaches. And then you got your American roaches, which you know already it's in the name. And then you got the Asian roaches. You can give them long mustaches. And then you got the smoky browns. You could give them you could make him smoke all the time and play poker. There's so many roaches with silly names already that exist. So that is gonna spark some creativity in video game makers. If bugs already have like there's a stink bug. What do you think that bug is gonna be doing? Right? Stinking up the place. You could put him in a toilet or you could put him uh throwing poisonous grenades at you. Could be a catapult. Then there's the other one that shoots acid. You could make that into like a big old monster machine that shoots acid. See, there's so many fun things that you can already make with bugs. Then you get your cute bugs too. You get your little spiders with the little cute eyes and eyebrows and eyelashes, right? Get the cute little spiders. Um, Snails. You could travel the world with a snail. Call it snail travel. Get on top of your snail, and the day goes by real quick, and then you arrive to the next destination. See, that'd be fun. A video game about bugs with guns. Just turn them into bugs with guns. All right, next idea. Um, Third party home inspectors history app for homes and slimy sellers. Okay, so this I was writing this, right? So I was watching this YouTube video that they recommend to always get a third inspector for your house because you can never trust the inspector that your realtor gives you or seller or whatever, right? Because then you're like, oh, well, they're working together. That's your inspector. Let me get my inspector that works for me, not for you, right? Well, I know that got to cost 300, 500, $800 for an inspection every single time. And then he might find a couple things that you don't want and you might try to negotiate and the other person is like, well, I don't care because come on, everybody is rich right now in 2025 and everybody's buying houses no matter the price. So go kick rocks. I don't care. I'm gonna sell this house to the next fool. And hopefully he doesn't hire a third inspector. So my idea is to avoid that happening and make your money be worth it. You create an app that keeps track of all these third party inspectors inspections, more like house inspections and when they were done. So if you go to house A and hire an inspector, it ends up having mold in the wall. You don't even want to buy the house. Um, so you're like, go bye bye. And then somebody else goes there and they don't have the money to hire an inspector. So they go into this app that you created, call it Inspector Goods. And then when you look at that house, like you search that house and it looks, oh yeah, this house had a inspection last month and it was for mold in the walls in these locations with pictures and all, right? All the details. And so you go to the seller with your app and information and says like, hey, this place has mold. I'm okay with it, but gotta drop at 100K. And then the inspector could be like, nuh-uh, I already repaired that. You know, they could try lying and you'd be like, well, I don't know if you did because there's some pictures here and it looks like it's literally all over the house. And the only way to get rid of this mold is if you tear down all the walls. And I don't think a month was enough. You know, like you could argue and they could like show you, no, but look, here's my tear down receipt and fungus clean out receipt. And, you know, they could show you and be like, yeah, that's true. And then they could post that in the app as well. Like, yeah, this thing was fixed. And then that ups the value or returns it to the value. And the point for this is because it sounds like making apps, it's cheap. I don't know. I don't really know. But it's just a database of every house out there that's been sold. You just search that house with that address. And then you have inspectors' documents in there. That one might it takes a lot of elbow grease, but if anybody out there has the time, that's an incredible one. An app that keeps the records of inspections of homes. You don't have to just be homes. There's businesses out here as well. You could do that. Business buildings, corporates. Next idea is gonna be AI, and I'm gonna read it the way I wrote it. Right, AI that gets integrated to kids and babies. No longer is school needed. You have all the knowledge you need. Oh yeah, that's something that I've always known, and everybody has come to this conclusion at one point in their lives. The human race, our biggest snail in our evolution, is the fact that every time we're born, we do not know anything, a single nothing, and we have to learn everything again. Every single person being born has to learn everything again. How boring is that? Imagine that. Imagine if you're trying to make an airplane and you have to learn everything again. And then you finally create a UFO and then you have to learn everything again how to make a UFO. So, how do you expect to make an even better UFO? So, that's why it's so slow to make progress in this life. Because every time you think you learn everything there was, there's more, but your life has run out. And the new life that's starting has to learn everything again. And hopefully you're a good teacher and you can pass that down. But most, 9 out of 10, you're not going to pass it down because whatever you learned was so niche. So my idea here is, and everybody has thought about it, how to get rid of schools. Well, here it is. Whenever a baby's born, you implant some AI chip in their brain, and the chip is able to talk to the internet as long as you pay your monthly membership. Call it Neuron, $10 a month. And with this, you have instant access to all the knowledge that pretty much ChatGPT has, right? Therefore, you do not need to go to school anymore because there's nothing for you to learn. You know everything. You have instant connection to the internet. Now it's not like you're googling stuff. This is gonna be even more advanced. At first, it's gonna be like you're googling, and then it just gives you the answer. But later, it's gonna be so advanced and so fast at downloading information that it's just gonna be like thinking. It's just gonna be think. It's like, how do I do this car? I never seen this engine. It's like, wait a minute, no, I do actually remember this engine. This is a B1248 C5cc. Yes, and the carburetor is under the side of the pipeline in the and then you see all the information. It's coming to you nearly instantaneously. So it would look like you're a genius. You're actually just downloading information real quick and storing it. So once you know it, you know it. And now that everybody has AI chips when they're born, and everybody knows everything there is to know, at the age of 10, probably, um, then all the other time you have left, you can use it to create new knowledge from what you know. So you start creating new technologies from all the knowledge combined, and everybody's connected together into some type of web. So whatever the other scientist in Germany learns, you also learned, and vice versa. And now the human race advances at a exponential rate. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 4 is 8, 8 times 8 is 64, 64 times 64 is who knows what. Something like that. That's exponential rate. That would be amazing. Just think about it. How else can I put it? Schools will no longer be needed. You will know everything, and we'll be able to finally have child labor again. Yeah, make America great again. Child labor and all. And of course, some countries will have that before other countries, and that's the one that's gonna be The dirtiest, probably China. Oh, I heard something amazing in a podcast today. It was Joe Rogan and some other guy, some scientist, and he said America is ruled by lawyers and China is ruled by engineers, and that was so true. I seen that. I have seen that. Ooh, what's going on over here in this guy's burning tires and the death turn? Yeah, America is whenever they're making a scientific discovery, they're worried about how the people are going to take it and if they're going to get sued by how somebody's going to use it. And in China, they just make stuff. That's it. They just do it. And if the building falls apart, that's when the people bought it and lived there. Um, that's so true. You know how advanced China is? And you don't know until you go there. But it's pretty advanced. They have so many engineers. So many. So many compared to the US. And we have so many lawyers and so many wannabe lawyers. Like somehow, I tell you this, somehow. I mean, every cop could tell you this from just the YouTube videos I watch, but it looks like every single person that gets stopped, it's a lawyer of some sorts. A street lawyer, a lawyer in college, uh, a lawyer who's not a lawyer but just watched too many videos on how to talk to cops. See, everybody's a lawyer now. Everybody. And a celebrity too, like me. I'm a podcaster. My God. And in China, everybody's an engineer. All right, well, I'll leave you with those ideas. In summary, it's gonna be maps with the highest traffic area. That's where you know you put billboards and ads. Video games with bugs with guns that match their name that already exists, and then a third-party home inspectors history app where they put all their data and documents of houses they've done, and then putting chips of AI that integrates with the brain to kids and babies so that, they don't have to go to school again. If they do go to school, it's probably to learn how to make their own, control their chip, or because parents need free healthcare from the government. It's one or the other, or maybe both. But that's it. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. It's, it's, uh, it's in the morning. Goodbye.